Hey guys, we're here today. We're gonna be making shrimp burrito bowls. With that, we're gonna do a few things. We're gonna be cooking up some rice, just taking a can of black beans, adding a few spices to it to kind of zhuzh it up a little bit, doing a quick marinade on some shrimp, and making tortilla chips out of some corn tortillas because I forgot I didn't have any. All right, so let's get started. What I've done first is I've actually preheated the oven to 425. Again, that's gonna be for the chips. We're not gonna need the oven other than that. So what I'm gonna do first, these corn tortillas that we bought a few weeks ago. Let's grab some. These are pretty small, like little street taco size. If you have bigger ones, you'll cut them more. So it's actually probably only gonna do about, I don't know, 8 of them. Right, I guess if only I cut them evenly. Cool, so now you got them in little chips, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cook the sheet. I'm gonna put some of that nonstick foil on it. I linked to that nonstick foil in the bio. I really recommend getting it. If they don't sell it at a grocery store, they have it on Amazon, and that's why I'll link it. It is awesome. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna kind of just spread them out. Throw these in the oven for probably about 20 minutes and just let them kind of do their thing. So we have some peeled raw shrimp. They were frozen before. I just took all the peels off. They came deveined, which was nice. We're gonna make a really quick marinade. So we'll just put this, take some of the cilantro to put in our marinade. So I'm just gonna kind of rip up just a little bit. It's a very cilantro heavy meal. I love cilantro. And we're just gonna kind of like roughly chop it, right? What I'm doing here. And just gonna throw it in with the cilantro. Oh my gosh, with the shrimp. Throw the cilantro in with the shrimp. Add a little bit of olive oil. We want this to brown. Olive oil. We're gonna take the juice of a whole lime. Thank you, Holly, for this. So we haven't used this little gadget yet, so let's see. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Be nice and lime-y. With that, we'll do some freshly cracked pepper, salt, and a splash of rice vinegar. More than that, actually. Cool. And, because I didn't take it out already, that's for later, a little onion powder, a little garlic powder. And actually a little smoked paprika if you have it. So we're gonna do some smoked paprika. I love smoked paprika. A little garlic powder. Now we're gonna just take our hands and kind of mix this all together. So this is gonna marinate while we cook our rice, because the last thing we'll do is cook the shrimp. We actually have that already. We have our black beans already in here. There's nothing in it. I didn't drain them. I like the flavor of the liquid. And this is regular sodium, not low sodium. So again, I'm not gonna add any extra salt, but I am gonna add some Mexican oregano. If you have it, add it. Regular oregano is fine too. Probably about a half of a tablespoon. I really like the taste of Mexican oregano. A little onion powder. And to round it off a little, if I have a lot, smoked paprika. Cool. So these beans are just gonna kind of do their thing and simmer while we cook everything else. So I'm just gonna give that a quick mix. Get all the spices incorporated. Put on the cover and let it go on low for this whole time. So I'm gonna be using white basmati rice for this. It's just a long grain white rice. We're actually gonna end up putting lime and cilantro in the rice when it's done. So first with this rice, I have to rinse it. We wanna give it a couple rinses. takes about 14 minutes to cook. But what I'm gonna do first, because I literally always mess this up, and I don't know if this happens to you when you cook rice or if it's just me, but I always get it stuck to the pot, right? This is my favorite pot. It has a nice lid. It really cooks everything evenly, but I always get rice stuck to the bottom. So we're gonna try this experiment together and just add a little olive oil. And I'm actually gonna take a paper towel and rub it around it and see if this works. Right, so we're just gonna take the paper towel and rub in it up around the sides. Okay, nice. And water, so again, it's 1 cup of rice to 1.5 cups of water. So we got rice, we have our water. I always add a pinch of salt. And I'm just gonna use the black bean spoon, just give it a little mix. And we're gonna bring this up to a fast simmer, and then when it's simmering, we're gonna turn it down, put the cover on it, and let it do its thing for about 4. So now that we have the rice going, we have the tortillas in, we have the black beans on low. We're gonna prep some cilantro for the cilantro lime rice. I'm gonna clean up a little bit, and then I will be back with you guys. Once the tortillas are done and the rice is done or almost done, we'll start the shrimp. The shrimp will only take a few minutes. And in the meantime, I'll let you know what we're gonna be putting on these bowls. So I cut up a tomato. I have some sour cream, just store-bought sour cream, obviously. And I made some guac earlier. So I'm gonna link to the video. It should be up here. So you can watch how to make homemade guac. It's quick. You can keep that in your arsenal whenever you want guacamole. It's like foolproof. And it lasts about a day in the fridge, right? I made it earlier today and it's still looking fantastic with the method that I discussed in the video. So we're just gonna cut up the cilantro, kind of like what we did earlier. We're just gonna kind of take them off the thicker stems. We'll leave on the thinner stems. So we got, now that we have a nice little pile of mostly just leaves, we're gonna give it another rough chop. So we have our cilantro for our rice when it's done. Okay, so our rice is almost at the simmer, which is perfect. We'll let the tortilla chips finish. We'll let the rice cook for about 14 minutes. After that, we'll come back, we'll fluff the rice, we'll get the shrimp going. We'll throw the cilantro and the lime in the rice, salt, pepper, and then we'll probably assemble and eat. All right, I'll see you guys in about 20 minutes. So our chips are out of the oven, so now let's add zest, some lime. Cool. Get our lime zested, add some salt while they're still hot. And just kind of move it around, see if we can get this stick to it. And we're really just gonna use this as, you know, a vessel to dip. So it's gonna take on the flavor of everything in the bowl itself. Let's actually throw them back in. Get the lime, we get the, we get the lime zest, we have salt here, some of the lime stuck to it, kind of glue it in place. We have a nice non-stick skillet right here. It's pretty good size. Turn this on. And about a medium. Add some olive oil into the pan and let that start to heat up. Our rice is gonna be done in about a minute, and I'm gonna teach you guys a super cool trick that makes rice so fluffy, it's like foolproof, where basically you take a kitchen towel, any kitchen towel, and you take the lid off your rice, and you just put the towel over it and the lid on top, heat off for 5 minutes. I swear, it makes the fluffiest rice ever, and it's pretty good. I'm actually gonna let the chips, I think, go for about 5 minutes rather than 3. Just let them get a little bit crispier, because no one wants a chip that's chewy. At least I don't. Okay, so 10 seconds left on the rice. We're gonna take the lid off for now. We're gonna shut the heat off. The rice is looking awesome. We're gonna take that kitchen towel trick, right? We're gonna lay it over it. We're gonna be careful not to touch the other burner. And we are just gonna go like this, cover it. So we're gonna set this timer for 5 minutes, which is perfect because the chips will go for another 5, and we'll get the shrimp cooking, which will be done in probably less than 5 minutes. We're actually gonna just drop these guys in and just kind of move them into a thin layer. We have our shrimp going. We're gonna definitely let them cook pretty much undisturbed for about 2 minutes on each side. While we do that, let's unveil. We have some of our toppings over here. You can already see my eating area because I'm hungry. So we have our guac. I made this guac about, I don't know, 6 hours earlier. And because we put the lime on top and the plastic wrap, there's literally no brown spots. It's actually perfect. It looks like you just made it. I cut up the rest of the tomato from the guac just to add some extra tomato on top. Sour cream, I forgot to buy cheese, so we don't have cheese. I would add cheese though. Cheese is good. Okay, so we have our toppings. We have my little eating station. So let's go back over and see how we're doing on the shrimp. You can hear it starting to sizzle a little bit, so I'm gonna move this over. So we're gonna turn our heat up a little bit. Grab the tongue. So yeah, we see the pink coming up around the edges. Now, people buy pre-cooked shrimp and then reheat it up. I don't like to do that. The shrimp gets instantly tough because it's already been cooked once, right? Shrimp is so finicky of a fish. It's cooked so quickly. It's so convenient, but you can overcook it very easily. So I'm just gonna start giving these guys a flip. Cool. So really these have to go for, I would say, about a minute or so. Check out these guys. Oh yeah, and our chips are definitely done. Glad I just checked because these would have burned. So I'm just gonna put them over. You can see our chips are nice and brown. So we kind of did a 2-cook method on these, right? We cooked them first with nothing just for like about 20-25 minutes to get them a little crispy. Then we threw in the lime zest, the salt, a little olive oil, threw them in for 7 or so minutes and got them nice and crispy. So we got our shrimp. I'm gonna turn the heat off. Done. Our rice is also done. Black beans are good to go, so let's plate and eat. So before we plate, I actually almost forgot. So we have our rice, it's nice and done. We're gonna add the juice of a lime. Throw this in our handy dandy citrus squeezer, which is awesome. Our lime. We're gonna add our cilantro. We're actually gonna use this fun wooden fork to kind of give it a fluff. And that olive oil did its job because nothing stuck to the bottom. A couple cranks of black pepper. Some pinch of salt. Awesome. Continue to give it a nice fluff. Okay, so now we're gonna plate. So I'm gonna use kind of like a soup ladle to grab some rice. Nice on the bottom, leave that there. And take a slotted spoon for our beans. Then we just put some Mexican oregano and paprika and onion powder and garlic powder in. Then with the shrimp, I actually use every utensil I have. Just use a spatula, make it easy just to grab a few. And this juice is amazing in it. You know, it's all olive oily, lime. So now we're gonna come over here. We're gonna add some of our guac we made earlier. Be generous, right? Add a couple tomatoes and a quick squeeze. Some sour cream in here. All right, now we eat. I almost forgot to add the chips when we were adding the toppings. So now we have our shrimp burrito bowl. We're gonna eat. Let's do a chip with all of our toppings. That crunch is the sound you want to hear with these chips. All right, guys, thank you. This is shrimp burrito bowls. You could also throw these into a taco or a burrito, you know, a tortilla if you want. I don't know how to roll tortillas. Thank you so much for watching. If If you like more like this, please subscribe to support my channel, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks.